What's up guys, it's Toby here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool related video, and in this video we will discuss the new details that have emerged of why Klopp Buvac, the assistant manager of Jurgen Klopp, left Liverpool and what happened actually between Buvac and Jurgen Klopp. So if you are interested in this type of video, make sure to watch it until the end, and of course if you enjoy these types of Liverpool videos, leave a like. It just takes a second for you guys to press that like button and it means a lot to me, and also subscribe, turn on the bell notification. So Klopp Buvac has worked with Jurgen Klopp for 17 years before he decided to quit his role as Jurgen Klopp's number 2, Jurgen Klopp's assistant manager. So what on earth happened between the two of them? There has been a lot of mystery and a lot of guessing, but now concrete evidence has actually emerged about what actually happened. So the 57-year-old Bosnian Serb coach had been with Jurgen Klopp during his time at Mainz and then Borussia Dortmund, and then he followed Klopp to Anfield as well. However, according to reports, the assistant was becoming increasingly unhappy at Liverpool, and he was also upset with coach Pepijn Lijnders and his growing influence at Liverpool actually, despite Lijnders being behind Buvac and third assistant Peter Krawiec. And it's very interesting because it is claimed that Buvac's relationship with Klopp is still intact, so they actually didn't fall out really. Their friendship didn't end, they didn't have a bust up or anything like that, but Buvac felt that given the current setup that he could no longer work at Liverpool, which is really sad, and many people were actually panicking at Liverpool. Many fans, Liverpool fans, were panicking that if Buvac left Liverpool, then Liverpool would really decline. But actually Liverpool got better, not because Buvac left, but because Jurgen Klopp is a brilliant manager and his assistant managers Lijnders and Krawiec are also world-class assistant managers. So Raphael Honigstein, the German journalist, wrote in an autobiography very interesting details about this. So, and I quote, "The Liverpool staff had noticed that the notoriously taciturn Bosnian had switched from monosyllabic to zero-syllabic basically in the last few months." He means that he just didn't interact with others, he didn't talk that much, and that was concerning Buvac. And he continued, and I quote, "Buvac gave the impression that he wasn't happy with the increasing influence of the fourth assistant coach, Pepijn Lijnders. The relaxed, bright Dutchman has been very popular with the players." Just my comment, maybe Buvac didn't like that much, that he wasn't the main assistant manager at Liverpool and somebody has taken up that role. The relationship between Buvac and Klopp had survived. Both could simply no longer work together. Lijnders have left Liverpool previously to take over at Dutch club NAC Nijmegen, but after a failed attempt to get the club promoted from the second division to the Eredivisie, he returned to Anfield, where he earned a promotion to become Jurgen Klopp's new assistant after Buvac left. So yeah, Lijnders' influence was probably one of the reasons why Buvac left, and now Lijnders is Liverpool's assistant manager. But Jurgen Klopp said this about Lijnders and his impact on the squad. "I could write a book about him, about what a big influence he had, about what a fantastic young," I still don't know what his title is, assistant manager, Klopp previously said about Lijnders. I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name, I'm not Dutch, so forgive me if I don't pronounce it correctly. And Jurgen Klopp continued, "What a fantastic young coach he is, what a lively presence he is, how big the influence of his optimism is, and how lively he is on the training pitch. It is just a fact. I was like that when I was young and I'm not like that anymore. That's how it is. You cannot use the same words always and again, so it gives me the opportunity to watch and to go in the right way." So Jurgen Klopp definitely likes Lijnders and he's definitely has a lot of time for him. And I think Yildiz didn't really want to boot Buvac out or anything. He just got increasingly more and more popular with the players, and maybe Buvac didn't like that for some reason or another. Maybe he didn't like that he was feeling a little bit useless at Liverpool. Of course he wasn't like that, but you can understand his personal feelings maybe got in the way of the professional development of Liverpool, and he decided to quit, and we have to respect that. Fair play to him. So Raphael Honigstein, in Jurgen Klopp's updated version of his biography, which is called Klopp Bring the Noise, this is what he said about Buvac. Maybe Buvac became increasingly jealous of Yildiz standing among Jurgen Klopp's backroom staff, which did in effect marginalize his own influence after close to 2 decades in the role as Jurgen Klopp's assistant manager. And this follows earlier reports from the Times newspaper. Paul Joyce, a very respectable journalist, said that there was a disagreement with goalkeeping coach John Achterberg, which certainly suggests that there was some kind of a problem between Buvac and the rest of the Liverpool staff. There were fears in some sections of the Liverpool support, of course, that this would expose Jurgen Klopp's limitations, because Buvac had become known as the brain and Jurgen Klopp as the heart, and his absence was held up as a possible reason for tactical issues at Anfield in the future. But this now has been improved, as Liverpool improved massively without Buvac in the 2018-2019 season, and Liverpool won the Champions League. It's just a little bit of a shame that Buvac couldn't add to that, and he couldn't fulfill a big dream of his to win the Champions League as one of Jurgen Klopp's backroom staff, one of the main men, one of the assistant managers at Liverpool, because Buvac left before Liverpool went on to win the Champions League. So that's, I just feel that that's a little bit of a shame that Buvac couldn't get a winner's medal, a Champions League winner's medal, because that's always very special. The good news is that Buvac and Jurgen Klopp are still friends, and I'm sure that behind the scenes Klopp talked to Buvac, and their relationship, personal relationship, is fine, but somehow or another way, somehow, some way, in the end, Buvac just couldn't keep working in this kind of environment and in this kind of setup in a professional field at Liverpool, so he decided to quit, and we have to respect that decision, and I wish him all the best, and I really hope that maybe someday he comes back as a manager in a Bundesliga club or somewhere else. So I wish him all the best. So Liverpool already signed a young centre-back, Sepp van den Berg. We already talked about him a lot, but Van den Berg's former manager at Zwolle, John van Schip, a European Cup winner actually with Ajax, he was the one who gave the young centre-back his first start with the club in March 2018. And despite, you know, this manager acknowledging Van den Berg's skill and solid mentality and even his huge potential, Van Schip has been quick to dismiss the unrealistic and over-the-top comparisons, being that some Liverpool fans compared Van den Berg to Van Dijk, and this is what he said, and I quote, "It's stupid, of course. You just have to let him develop in his own way. He doesn't have the physical body of Virgil van Dijk, as he has got a totally different pathway. Virgil started with some lower teams and could develop himself with Groningen and then Celtic. Seppi has only played 20 games in the Eredivisie and is now going to Liverpool. That's a totally different build-up. I think the thing with him is people must understand he's not a real first-team player yet. They have to get him there. He will have to work. And if Sepp was playing at Ajax, he would not be in the first team. He would be in the second team, or maybe have some time playing in the cups. And I think that that will be the same role at Liverpool as well, that Sam van den Berg will probably play in the Liverpool under-23s, in the development league. Maybe he will start some League Cup games here and there, or maybe in the FA Cup in the in the spring in the FA Cup, maybe Van den Berg could get a few minutes or some starts even if he keeps developing. But I think he will be in the Liverpool second team. Remember that he's just 17 years old. He's not even an adult yet. He's basically a kid. So I think we should give him all the time in the world. And remember that at his age, at Van den Berg's age, Van Dijk, who is now one of the best centre-backs in the world, was still learning his trade at Willem II's training academy. He wasn't even at Groningen in a professional environment. So I think it's fair to say that we should give Van den Berg a lot of time, and maybe even a loan spell or two could you know, aid his development. Young Liverpool centre-back Connor Masterson has joined Queen's Park Rangers on a 2-year contract after leaving Liverpool as a free agent. He's a 20-year-old centre-back, and he decided that a new opportunity with Queen's Park Rangers in the Championship is the right move for him. He didn't want to extend his contract because basically he wasn't really good enough to play for Liverpool. And this is what he said: to sign for Queen's Park Rangers is an honor and a privilege, and I can't wait to get started. I learned so much during my time with Liverpool, had some unbelievable experiences, and I think that will carry through with Queen's Park Rangers. Mentally it was very tough, but you learn from it and it makes you stronger. You have your ups and downs in football, and that was my down, and hopefully this move is one of my ups. I can guarantee the fans I will give everything in every game. He was at first with the Liverpool under-18s. He captained the side before progressing to the under-23s, and even ended up on the senior side's bench in April of 2018 for matches against Everton in the Premier League and Manchester City in the Champions League. But before his recent move to London, the young defender was scheduled to be on last season's pre-season tour, but a knee injury sadly prevented him getting on the flight to USA, ruling him out for 10 weeks, and I think that was a big blow for him because he couldn't really show how good he is to Jurgen Klopp, and his pathway to the first team was blocked because of that. And Liverpool defender Joe Gomez admits that he has 3 Premier League strikers who are a nightmare to face. So I was wondering what kind of strikers he was talking about. This is the question that Joe Gomez was asked: who is the best and toughest player you have played against? And to me, which Gomez easily answered: Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino. All of them. It is difficult to play against them every day. You get embarrassed a little bit sometimes. And I think that's a very, very good point by Joe Gomez. I think one of the reasons why Liverpool's defense improved so much is that in training they are playing against some of the best attackers in world football. Mo Salah, Sadio Mane and Firmino are 3 of the best strikers or attackers in world football. I think they are all in the top, maybe top 15 or top 10 attackers in world football, and Salah, in my opinion, is in the top 5 even, maybe behind Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar. Salah is I think in 5th place or somewhere like that. So I think Joe Gomez is right that he's facing 3 of the toughest strikers or toughest attackers in world football, and I think that's a really, really good point. And let's talk about Rafa Benitez, who almost straight away after leaving Newcastle United, he accepted a Chinese Super League club's offer of earning £12 million per year. I calculated that's like more than £200,000 per week wages, which is like, that would put Rafa Benitez at one of the very top earners in the Premier Leagues, maybe in the top like 20. Then certainly he would earn more money than anybody at Liverpool, any player at Liverpool. So that is a huge, huge money move for Rafa Benitez, and I think he deserves a big payday before he retires. I'm not saying that he will definitely retire after the Chinese Super League, but in China, in just 2 years, you can earn as much money as you would earn at a Newcastle in like 6 years or 7 years. And the Premier League is offering very good wages to the managers, but the Chinese Super League is just crazy. The club that he's signing for is Dalian Yifang, and this is what Rafa Benitez said about his move, and I think this is very interesting. I have had offers of greater financial significance during my career, but they weren't the project I was looking for. What I have found at Dalian is an incredible project that has arrived at the perfect time, and this has been a major factor in my decision. We have accepted the challenge of leading a super project with the full backing and confidence of the club's leadership team. Over the last few years, many players and coaches I know have arrived in China, and so I have been able to follow the Super League as much as possible. It's a competition with its unique qualities, so we will have to know how to adapt. But our path forward is clear. Dalian Yifang is a historic club with one of the most passionate football cities in the country, so this is an added attraction. But I think ultimately you have to admit that Benitez made this move not because of the project, but because of the money. I think let's be real here. He wouldn't have signed for Dalian Yifang if they wouldn't give him the incredible amount of money. I mean, £12 million a year. That's outrageous. But that's the economy in the Chinese Super League. There is so much money there, and I can't begrudge Rafa Benitez. He has taken on many different jobs for the Football League project, and I think maybe he deserves to just have 1 or 2 years at China for a big payday, and I think he will work hard there because Rafa Benitez is one of the most hard-working professional managers in world football. And maybe after 1 or 2 years, hopefully he will come back to the Premier League and manage a good club, somebody like Newcastle. Maybe I would see him at Wolverhampton in the future, for example, or maybe at even a club like Arsenal, but that's, I think, wishful thinking. So yeah, let me know what do you think about this, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.